Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another week of In the Spotlight. I am Tabitha Collins, your host, and this evening we have Miss Brianna Richmond, who is with the Mental Health of America of the Central Carolinas. Brianna, welcome to the show.
Yes, welcome. Thank you for having me tonight.
Yes, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. I wanted to be able to put out to our audience what you all are doing here in Charlotte, North Carolina, especially within Mecklenburg County. My show is really about getting people plugged in with nonprofits, with different organizations, and uh, people that can help. It's all about helping and giving back to the community and getting those nonprofit organizations out there and putting in our audience's hands tools that will be able to help them with their everyday life if we can. We want to be able to, be of a service. So if you don't mind, give us your title, what you do over at the facility, and just start there.
Yes. So, like I said, my name is Brianna Richmond, and I'm the Youth Engagement Specialist at Mental Health America of Central Carolinas, as well as one of our QPR instructors. So, in my role, I typically lead our support groups that we have available for our youth in both Mecklenburg and Cabarrus County. All of the supports that we offer to the community are free of charge. And so with these support groups, we are able to offer them in the virtual space, as well as coming into different organizations that express a need for having that social outlet for the youth that they serve. And so in that, we're able to cover topics like resilience and self-care, and really just being able to dive in a little deeper about what mental health is, as well as how we can aid our mental well-being and really be productive instead of reactive about how we take care of our mind and our body. And so we're really able to just tap into a lot of those issues that we see prevalent that is affecting the mental health of our youth, as well as just being able to educate them about what it means to take care of themselves and their mental well-being. And like I said, I'm also one of our QPR instructors, which stands for Question, Persuade, and Refer. And it's a suicide prevention training that we offer to youth over the age of 15 as well as adults. And so, with that training, it goes into a lot of detail about the statistics as it relates to suicide among youth, adults, different backgrounds as far as like thinking about the Black community, thinking about the Latino community, the LGBTQ plus community. And so going over that, but really just focusing on how do we really dive in and to understand if someone is thinking about suicide, how do we persuade them to live, and then finally, how do we refer them to the proper professional resources?
That is so excellent. And this is why I'm so passionate about my show, because this is information that if you would not have been on, we would not have known. The audience would not have in their hands. And especially in the climate that we're in right now,
Yes.
with everything that's going on in the world, uh, suicide prevention is major. And I
Yes.
have teenagers myself. You never know. They don't tell us everything, right?
Yeah.
So that is so important to get that out there. Um, Dive a little bit more into, now I just want to know everything, but dive with your gray hair, great
Thank
hair.
you.
Dive a little bit more into uh, the partnership that you have with Cabarrus, so we can let people know that too, because we have people that might work in Mecklenburg but live in Cabarrus. Their kids are in school in Cabarrus. So explain that partnership a little bit more so the players will know.
Yes. So here at MHA, we actually have the opportunity to hire a full-time staff person in Cabarrus, LaDante Lee. So he acts as a liaison between MHA and those community partners in Cabarrus County, getting us more plugged in and connected to those organizations, whether it's schools or just like larger organizations where we can come in and provide our services. And we also do have Kathy Johnson, who is one of our family partners. She's there in Cabarrus County full time as well. And the role of the family partners really is to provide that one-on-one peer support to parents who have youth that may be going through challenges in school, walking them through that process, teaching them how to be an advocate for themselves, for the needs of their child. So we have her as well as Christine Holt, who is a part-time family partner in Cabarrus County. So we're really trying to expand that reach in Cabarrus because we know a lot of our efforts sometimes are a little bit more focused in Mecklenburg County because that's where our central location is. So
Mhm.
really just trying to do whatever we can to, really reach out and let people in Cabarrus County know, hey, we are a service to you, even though we might not be physically in that space. This is the services that we offer, and really just trying to, really tighten and expand that connection that we have in that community.
Are you, have, like, are they counselors that are on staff? Like, I guess what I'm saying, is there like, is this like a counseling service for teens? Or is it more focused upon education, prevention, and advocacy? Like,
Yes, so our support groups that we offer, those are social support groups. So it's really targeted towards making sure that we are providing youth with an environment that they can come and feel welcome, that they have that outlet to maybe talk about things they don't necessarily get to talk about in school or with their parents. And so that is a large portion of what our support groups are. Those aren't clinical support groups. And so
okay,
we really try to drive to say, if your child is in need of a more clinical support group, then we will, make a referral for that. But then we'll also say this is something that can be done in addition to them going to therapy and things of that nature. But
okay,
we are currently offering a short-term counseling program. And so that serves both Mecklenburg and Cabarrus County residents. And so with that short-term counseling program, individuals 8 years of age and up are able to participate as long as they live in Mecklenburg or Cabarrus County. And they also have been affected by COVID in any way. So we know that that has had a large effect on our lives. And so that's one of the qualifiers for that program. And the only thing disqualifier for that program is if you have Medicaid, and then you'll go through Alliance to receive those mental health services.
excellent, excellent. And could you tell us a little bit more of some of the other programs that you have for peers?
Yes, so I spoke a little bit about our Parent Voice program that we have that offers those family partners for that one-to-one peer support. But then we also have a wonderful program, the Compare program, that matches individuals who have a mental health diagnosis, 18 years
Oh,
of up, with a volunteer friend from the community. And so the important part of Compare is really just forming those relationships. We know that individuals who may be diagnosed with a mental health diagnosis may be isolated. They may not feel like they have that connection with other people in the community. And that is what Compare is all about, bonding and making those friendship connections so that an individual will have someone to go to the movies with or have someone that's going to check in on them to see how their day went. And so I always recommend Compare as a great program for individuals who are either looking for some volunteer work and interested in the field of mental health, and as well as those who do have that mental health diagnosis that are 18 and up to get connected with a friend.
oh my God, Brianna, this is so awesome. I tell anybody it is so important to get plugged into what you are called to do and what you are passionate to do. Just hearing you talk about the programs and the services that are out there for the community for our youth is just so overwhelming to me because I am a human service girl. I am
Yes.
telling you, and I'm just like, oh my God, I hope this is helping someone. That's my goal always, is to make sure that someone hears this, watches this show, and if one person is able to, email you all or call you all and say, I have someone or I need some type of help, then I feel like that it was definitely worth it all. Um,
Absolutely.
so what about, tell us about some of because I saw something on your website about you have certain resources. What does that mean for the community?
Yes, so our website is a great hub for resources, both local and national. Um,
What? Why don't we stop for a commercial break? We'll come back with the resources, and you can also tell us a little bit more about the events that you all have coming up and how people can get involved with donating. So we're
okay.
going to stop for a commercial break. We will be right back in a moment with In the Spotlight with Miss Brianna Richmond. And we are back after our short break from our sponsor. Thank you for joining us here in the Spotlight. I am Tabitha Collins, and we have with us again this week, if you missed our first half, Miss Brianna Richmond, and she is with the Mental Health of America of the Central Carolinas, servicing Mecklenburg and Cabarrus County here in the wonderful city of Charlotte, North Carolina. Miss Brianna, thank you for again for being a part of our show this week. And on this second half, could you go into a little bit of some of the resources you all offer over at Mental Health America of Central Carolinas? I got that right, correct?
Yes, you did.
Go ahead and tell us a little bit about some resources that you have for the studio audience.
Yes, so on our website, we have a great hub of resources that is available for anyone to view. So at mhaofcc.org, you can go on there and find so many local, national resources. Some of the big
Mhm.
ones that we have is our emotional toolboxes that we have designated for different communities. So if you're part of the LGBTQ plus community, if you're a youth, if you're a caregiver, we have these emotional toolboxes that are put together with resources, book readings, articles, a whole host of things that can really help individuals build up their knowledge base around that particular group, as well as some resources to help with aiding your mental well being. Another one that we have is when you visit our website, in the top right corner, you will find an In Crisis button. And that In Crisis button allows individuals who are experiencing a mental health crisis, if they find their way onto our website, to get in contact of knowing who to call in that situation. And one of the first things you will see is the 988 number, which is now the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. And with
Wow.
that number, you can either call it, you can text 988 as well, or if you go onto their actual website, 988lifeline.org, you can chat with one of the professionals on there as well. And so that is just a great hub because we know we're making that transition from the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline to the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. So we're really trying to make sure that we are pushing that number out as well. It is a lot easier to remember than the number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. So we definitely are pushing that. And also on your website, you will find some other resources with our link to the mental health screening tool. So we offer this as a service from MHA National. And this screening tool is not a diagnosis or anything like that, but we always say that it is a starting point. You know, if you're feeling feelings of depression, if you're feeling those thoughts of suicide, if you're feeling anxious, it is a great way to either start a conversation with a parent for youth or even for adults to go and take to their doctor's office like, hey, I took this screening. I don't know what it means, but can you help me get connected? Because I am experiencing these symptoms related to my mental health. So that, and then the last resources that we have on our website is actually our directory with the clinicians that we are partnered with in the community. And so you're able to search by presenting concerns, whether that is depression, anxiety, things of that nature, insurance. So it's just a great hub to find and get connected to clinicians that are in the community.
What if you have, clinicians that specialize in different areas of mental health? What if you have someone calls you and say, "Hey, I have a referral for you." How does someone get plugged in to be in that network to be looked at as a clinician to be in your space so people can reach out to them for their services? Do you have like referral service like that?
So when we get intake calls, we will often refer to really just based on the needs of that
Mhm.
individual that is calling in. So we have people calling in for needing assistance for housing, needing assistance for referrals to food banks, or needing assistance to those clinicians. And a lot of the times we will either make those connections to those larger organizations that we have here in Charlotte, or we will do
Okay.
those individual referrals based on those needs. So, but then with the clinicians, that professional network, that is a paid service for them to be a part of that. So if a
Mhm.
clinician wanted to be a part of that directory, there's a process for them to get with that. And Andrea Towner is the person that they will contact to get included in that directory.
Okay, thank you so much. This is so good. This
Yes.
is information I did not even know was out here. And I am hoping that the audience tonight is taking it all in and sharing. Please
Yes.
share, and reshare this show because there is someone out there that could use these services. And like Ms. Richmond said earlier, these are free services, correct? These are
Yes.
free, y'all, free, free.
Yeah, this is
No
my
need
favorite
to,
parts. I say everything is free 99 over here. So
yeah,
definitely get connected with us.
get connected because mental health is real. It is
Yes.
running rampant in the African American community like never before. And I think a lot of times it was always there and we swept it under the rug, right? It was
Absolutely.
taboo in our community and it is real and that goes for any race, creed, or color. The
Yes.
services are needed in this day and age. So thank you so much for even being on and sharing all of this information with
Of
us.
course.
Now, before we close out this evening, go ahead and tell us a little bit about some events you have coming up, how people can get involved with your events, maybe if they want to volunteer or donate, and then give us your social media handles so people can get involved and plugged in. Want to make sure they'll be able to find you after all of this information, and it's free, y'all. We want
Yes.
to make sure you can find them. Okay, go ahead.
Definitely. A great way to get connected with us is to go onto our website. Like I said earlier, mhaofcc.org is that hub where you can get connected to make those donations, to get connected as a volunteer. We have that ability for you to fill out that form online as well. Also, with some events that we have coming up, we have our Real Talk, Real Support Parent Lunch and Learns that we have every third Wednesday from 12 to 1 p.m. And so that is just a great resource for parents to come in, learn about the different topics that we have coming up. Also, we have our virtual support groups for our youth as well. And those are hosted the first Thursday of every month with our active youth support group for our older teens. And then our Kids of Tomorrow support group is hosted every second Tuesday of the month at 5:30, and that is for our younger youth ages 8 to 13. And both of those are virtual as well as the Real Talk, Real Support Parent Lunch and Learn. And so there's just so many things that we have out there. I encourage everyone to go onto our website on our events page. We have open to the public QPR sessions that we offer. And so that is something that we always push because we know how important suicide prevention is. especially with September being the National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. We are really pushing those um, QPR sessions that we have available. We have one that is actually coming up on Tuesday, September the 27th, and that one is going to be from 1 to 3 p.m. So be sure to check out the website for that and sign up for just to really to learn and expand your knowledge on suicide prevention. And lastly, we can be found on Instagram and Facebook at MHA of CC, and as well on our YouTube channel, Mental Health America of Central Carolinas. We have a whole host of videos on there as well with our youth, our Wake Up for Wellness event that we've had this past summer. So much great information on the website, on our social media platforms, keeping you updated on the events that we have coming up. So definitely be sure to check us out.
Thank you so much. That was a mouthful. She said it all.
Yes.
Go back and watch it, y'all. Rewind the tape. This will broadcast live in 2 weeks on a Thursday at 6 p.m. It'll be on YouTube. Run it back, share, share, share. Let's get this information out in the hands to the people in the community that need it the most. And if you can
Absolutely.
leave, and our theme this year at WYTV7 is something encouraging. We're asking everyone that comes on the broadcast. We're focusing, my show especially is focusing on nonprofits and really being a service and a help in the community. Could you leave us some encouraging words to tell our audience, to share with our audience this year?
I would definitely have to say that the most encouraging thing that we always try to push to anyone that we are in contact with, youth, parents, organizations, is that hope is there, help is available. We are to be a service to the community. And so anything that anyone may need, we may not offer the service directly, but we will always do our best to get you connected to someone that can provide you with that help. So we just really try to keep pushing forward and breaking that stigma as it surrounds mental health, because we know how important it is to get people connected to that help. And so just know that if you are in a situation, if you're in a crisis, that hope is available, is there, and that you can be able to push through and get that help and those services that you deserve and that you're in need of.
Brianna, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And we want to remind our audience again, just like she said, very encouraging words that hope is out there. It is just really a phone call, a click, a text
Yes.
away. You do not
Yes.
have to go through anything on your own. We are here to be of service. And if you want to reach me, and I can get you plugged in with someone,
Yeah.
my number here is 980-907 3136, 980-907-3136. Tabitha, Tabatha, spotlight@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Thank you so much, audience, for being a part of In the Spotlight. Please like and share our show. If you are so inclined to donate to WYTV7.org, we are also a nonprofit organization, and you see what we're doing. We're trying to put this help and hope in the hands of the people that need it the most every week. Tune in Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much and have a great evening. And once again, thank you for joining me in the spotlight.